Welcome to the Dagnabbit Boys podcast.
Thank you.
We talk all things cars.
We talk all things cars. This week we're talking about the 2003 Mitsubishi Outlander.
You told me we were going to talk about tires today.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll go for it.
All right.
Trying to make the pod more interesting and engaging, so let's do it. Let's talk about tires.
So tires, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to move in order to move your car. They're made of rubber like fucking condoms.
But are the tires moving themselves, or are you moving the tires?
Think about that.
The tires are moving, but who's being moved?
Yeah. And when you're in your car, are you moving or is the world moving you?
Are
Are
you
you staying still at all times? Standing still? When you walk, who's moving?
If
you
you're-
or the ground?
If you're going 90 miles per hour in a car, are you going 90 miles per hour? Physics would say yes, but can we really trust it?
How can we trust science?
How can we trust the physicists? Who are these people?
Well, here's the thing about science is it's like you have these really smart guys talking about science, but we're all fucking dumb, right?
Mhm.
We're dumb. We don't understand what they're talking about. So maybe we completely misunderstand what they're saying.
Maybe we're right.
Yeah. And maybe it's like, well, the thing is, you learn more, with this country lifestyle than you do from these books.
And that's the thing that needs no evidence. You learn more from this as in this meaning we're doing it. So this country lifestyle that you're seeing us live right now,
Yeah.
you learn a lot more than you do in a laboratory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The laboratory? Oh, wow. Where people are like shaking glasses that don't even look good. I would never drink water out of these beakers. The fuck are they using
That's
these
why
for?
scientists can never relate to real human beings.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand what a glass is supposed to look like. They make them too thin on the top and too wide on the bottom.
And they hold them like this.
Because they say, "Oh,
They hold them at the top.
this is what's inside of water," and I go, "That ain't the water I'm drinking.
Why is it green?
Why is it green? Why is it green and bubbly?"
Oh, yeah. Why, if I touch it, does it burn? Water doesn't burn me.
Because the well water that I live in this country lifestyle, I put it in a normal glass and it's clear as day, and I drink it.
There's a little bit of a cement. There's some cement in there.
And there's some DuPont chemicals in it,
yeah.
but it makes you stronger. A lot of people, when they say, "Oh, I trust the scientists," I go, "Okay, name one."
Yeah. Einstein, he's dead.
He's dead.
Prove he even was alive. Even if you dug up his grave, it would just be like a bunch of bones.
We actually dug up Einstein's grave to prove that he's dead, and we found out it's all bones.
So we have no clue if he's even dead,
So-
because that could be anybody's bones.
that could be anybody's bones, and maybe the bones are alive.
Yeah. So we've been trying to have conversations with the bones, asking them about, we've been doing crowd work on the bones.
We put all of Einstein's bones in a Ralph's shopping bag, and I've been yelling at him.
I've been yelling, "Where are you from?
Where are you from?
What do you do?" And they never respond. I think they're shy.
I went
Here's
through
the
this whole
thing.
cemetery. Nobody knows your grandmoms.
Here's the thing, though, about inanimate objects is they might be alive, but they might just have social anxiety.
The thing so these scientists, they only deal with the accepted forms of knowledge. But what we're doing is we're talking to bones, talking to rocks, talking to leaves, and seeing if they talk back, essentially.
And we don't know even, they don't talk back, but there's a possibility that they have a crush on us and they're so nervous that they don't know what to say.
Because that's the thing, is you talk to a rock and people go, "Of course a rock can't talk." And you go, "You don't know if the rock has a crush on you."
Yeah, and the rock would have a crush on you because, in comparison to the rock, you're, really tall.
You're very handsome.
And you're very good looking because all they have to look at is rock.
Rocks are ugly.
Yeah.
And so they want to date people, but they get so nervous around the people because they think they're so cute that they don't say anything.
Yeah, and maybe if a rock asked me out, I'd go out with a rock. Maybe we'd go get coffee.
But it never would make the first move.
Yeah. Also, rocks don't have mouths either.
But we're queering the idea of what a mouth is.
Yes.
Because we have a notion of what a mouth can be. It's on the front of your face. A rock doesn't have a face. So where does the mouth go? It could be anywhere, and we might have just not been able to find it yet.
And that proves the rocks are ugly because they don't even have a face.
Exactly.
You have to have a face.
But what does ugly
to be-
mean? Because we're trying to apply European beauty standards to rocks and leaves.
And maybe if we used Eastern European standards, from Asia, maybe they think rocks are sexy over there.
Maybe
I
if
don't
we
know.
thought rocks look like Asian people, we'd be able to understand why they're beautiful. So I look at
Imagine
rocks.
a rock is like a 21-year-old Korean girl in like a schoolgirl uniform.
What
And
if
if
a
you
rock-
imagine that, you might get your dick hard.
What if a rock was a Chinese guy? Now you're thinking differently.
Yeah, now well, if it's a Chinese guy, all these white women be fucking swiping fucking left on him on the Instagram or the Tinder.
And that's why when these hot women in LA go on hikes, they always ignore the rocks because they think of them the same way they think of Chinese guys.
Yes, they don't see them as people.
And that's racism. So
yeah,
we're not just doing science, we're also doing social science.
And we're woke.
And what does social science mean? It's the science of trying to get some pussy.
Yes.
And if you think everybody's a Chinese rock, you're going to be biased.
Yes.
So it's about queering that. It's about flipping that.
Social science is about getting pussy, so therefore it's lies. Because in order to get pussy, you have to lie.
Unfortunately.
You have to be like, that's so interesting. I'm looking forward to it. You always say, I'm looking forward to whatever you're going to do.
But what if you looked back?
Yes. What if you looked back and saw that maybe you don't look forward?
That you're a bad person.
Yeah. Think about that.
So, I don't know. I mean, these are just some things to think about. Because when you open yourself up to science, things are no longer as they seem. Is that a leaf or is it an Indian wife?
We're also calling it opening things down. Opening down.
What if you open
fake science?
What if you open something down?
Yes.
Let's open down the field of rocks being Chinese. Let's open down the field of water being glass.
What if you touch some water and it cut you? It hasn't happened yet, but it could possibly.
But it could. Just because
if you had some sharp water.
If you had sharp water.
Which, I don't know, maybe there's some sharp water in China.
Because explain this to me. If I pour water on a table or on the ground, it becomes flat and it's see-through. What else is flat and see-through? Glass. So is water not soft glass?
Yes. It's not. It is. It is that.
And a lot of scientists would say, well, no.
A lot of scientists would say, like, I have to check my book.
Yeah, they go, I have to go in my notebook and check. And they'd say, oh, well, the atoms in glass are dense and compact.
Who is Adam?
And who's Adam?
Tell me about that.
And
they say that God's not real, but then they're always talking about Adam.
But apparently there's millions of guys named Adam who create everything.
Yes.
And yet women birth and are creators.
Yes.
So why is there no Eves? Why can't we split an Eve?
Yeah, think about that. Yeah.
Why can't I fuck Eve so hard I split her in half?
Yeah.
And then that's a nuclear bomb. Now we're talking about fission.
And nuclear bombs are bad because they kill rocks, aka Asian people.
Exactly.
Yes.
But could they kill other people? Could a nuclear bomb...
We have not yet proven that nuclear bombs could kill anyone other than Japanese
only know
people.
That nuclear bombs kill Japanese people. We don't know, can a nuclear bomb kill a black guy?
Probably not.
That's something we're researching. We're doing tests.
We tried to drop a nuclear bomb on Compton. We've not been familiar with what Compton's been the last 10 years and accidentally dropped on a bunch of Mexican people and they survived.
We dropped it on a bunch of Mexicans and they survived. So
we know Mexicans can't be affected by the atom bomb.
That is the thing that we're learning, and this is what happens when you open down into new ideas. And a lot of people get
open down to old ideas.
The thing is,
old thoughts.
To old thoughts that are maybe good, maybe bad. The thing is, people are afraid to do real science because they're afraid of offending people. People go, oh, I don't want to drop a nuclear bomb on a black family because I don't want people to think I'm racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have dropped bombs on black people, but all we know is that...
But they're fire bombs.
Yes.
And it was in Tulsa.
And they also dropped bombs in Philly. The government dropped that bomb on Philly, and as far as we know, it wasn't an atom bomb.
No. So what did we learn? Nothing.
We learned it absolutely. We were trying to research. The government was trying to research it, and the government's stupid, so they don't know.
The government's been running the same test, which is that apparently black people don't like fire. We know that. That's known. That's a given. But how do they feel about nuclear fission? So we're going to go into Inglewood. We're going to start off...
But like specific parts of Inglewood.
Specific parts of Inglewood that have not been, gentrified or
turned into Mexican.
Changed demographically. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to start off with a survey. We're going to ask people black people in Inglewood, how do you feel about nuclear fission?
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you want it to happen in your own community?
Yeah. And knowing black people, they would probably say there's a good burger spot around here.
And what does that mean? Are the burgers people?
No.
That's another.
I don't think they are, but cows live.
Exactly.
And we don't know if you turn a cow into a burger, whether or not it's still thinking.
So just because you take a cow, chop it up, make it really hot, and make it turn brown, is it not a cow anymore? I don't know. I think
it's a delicious cow.
I think it's a flat cow.
Well, also, what happens when you poop out the cow?
Can you still
you
eat that?
put it in the toilet, you flush it down, where does it go? It goes to the sewer, where there's probably a bunch of cows like grazing down there.
But does it go back to the farm? And is the real farm the sewer?
Yes.
Are the sewers full of cows grazing? These are the questions that we get to ask when we're not hampered by political correctness.
Yes.
By wokeness, by government intervention. And
by our parents.
By our parents.
My parents don't want me to say stuff like this.
When did I first become a libertarian? When my parents told me to go to bed.
My parents charged me taxes.
My parents?
The parents are the first thing you get to the government.
Our parents, is mom the government? These are questions we're asking.
Yes.
Because we know she's not Chinese. She's white. I know
that. Dad's at work.
And Dad's at work. But who's he working with? Chinese guys?
Are there rocks there?
Are there rocks at his work? Are they telling him that
I don't fully understand his work. I'm a child.
A child in like a laboratory coat. Dad goes to work. I don't know what that means.
But does he?
Is he eating all the candy I can't have?
Is Dad hanging out with the guy who invented homework, thanking him for torturing his son?
Is Dad eating all the candy and inventing homework? Did Dad hang out with Mr. Homework while eating all the candy that I wanted? These are questions you can't ask.
I bet Dad is going to McDonald's on the way home.
When Dad drives,
eating McDonald's in the car and not having anything for me, Thomas.
Because let's look at the facts. When I drive by McDonald's with my mom, I kick my little feet on the back of the seat and I say French fries. But I don't always get them. But when Mom and Dad are in the car and Dad kicks his feet and says French fries, does he get them? And if so, why? And what does that mean about the power dynamic and the balance of power and the realpolitik of the whole situation?
And think about this, right? I want McDonald's. So if I wanted it, I'd go get it. And he's able to go get it. Mm-hmm. So therefore, he probably wants it as much as I do.
We want it the same. And yet, it is said that he has more of a right to eat McDonald's because he's Papa and I'm baby. But why does a baby have less rights than Papa? And what does that mean about the nature of rights?
Why can't we make pornography legally?
Why?
Papa can make pornography.
Why can Dad make pornography
with Mama?
With Mom and post it on a swingers forum? But when I take a video of my 7-year-old penis and post it online, now I'm a criminal.
And I go to jail.
And
I go to jail.
And I go to baby
real
jail.
Hardened 7-year-olds.
With other 7-year-olds who then I
have
sex
make their
with.
own tattoos.
Who make their own tattoos. Now, I come out of jail. I'm 9 years old. I have tattoos that say baby lover.
Yes.
And that changes the rest of my life, and I can't do
And they
science.
have their hands in my diaper pocket. They have their hands in my diaper. So think about that.
Why am I holding on to another guy's pocket?
I'm 7 years old, and I don't have McDonald's.
And this is all just because I didn't get McDonald's.
Yes.
If I would have gotten McDonald's, I would have been full, I would have gotten tired, and I would have went to sleep.
And to be honest, if I had gotten McDonald's and an apple pie, which Mom sometimes will take you to McDonald's and you'll ask for an apple pie and she'll say no.
And it's like, bitch, we already in the McDonald's.
How much is an apple pie? Like, is it $1?
It's like $1.
It's like 5 cents.
It's like $1. And now they have cheese pies.
And Mom doesn't see the commercials I see because she puts me in front of the TV.
Mom puts me in front of the TV so she can debate her entire life with a bottle. It's her and a bottle, and she's trying to figure out everything that's ever happened. Meanwhile,
So mom is a scientist.
Mom is doing her own science.
Yes.
She's seeing how many glasses of something it takes to forget what her papa did.
She tries to see how many bottles of brown liquid she can drink until her eyes start making water.
And then does she drink that water? No, she lets it go to waste.
She goes to the bathroom and she thinks you don't hear it. You ever notice mom is always in the bathroom making water out of her eyes when you're trying to sleep?
And why is it so loud? Why is it so loud when mom makes water? A river or a babbling brook, those aren't always too loud, but mom is so loud. Why
and
is
mom
she louder?
she makes mouth noises. Does it make water flow better?
Mom makes less water than a babbling brook, and yet she's louder than the brook and provides less water. And that's an example of bureaucratic inefficiency.
Yeah, and dad does hugs with his hand with his fist on mom, but her face.
Dad never got to go to college, so he doesn't know how to hug.
Yes.
He thinks a hug is a closed fist against a cheek as fast as possible to mom.
Dad sometimes tries to hug me, but he messes it up.
Well, because
it makes his hug doesn't feel like love.
No.
Why does dad? Why when he touches you, it doesn't feel like love? Think about that.
My dad ran a lot of experiments on my body. It looked like love, but it didn't feel like it. So what does love really mean? If daddy does what he does with mommy with me, why isn't it love?
Is it because I'm 7? And just because I'm 7, for some reason, society doesn't think I should get to feel love.
And I also don't want it.
But it's
I'm
the
just
closest that he gets to showing me love.
So you say, well, this is a lot more than I wanted. I wanted you to just hug me.
Why does daddy say I love you to his friend that he hangs out with all the time, but not to me or mom?
And who is that friend? And why is she always in trouble?
Why? Why am I not supposed to tell mom about dad's friend?
Why do daddy's friends always interrupt dinner and then he has to whisper loudly at the front door saying, I told you you can't come here? Why can't daddy's friends come inside of his house? They're his friends.
How come when I pick up the phone and I talk to daddy's friend and she has to put daddy on, daddy starts making loud talk? Why does he talk louder when his friend calls?
Why have a phone at the house if your friends can't even call it? Why is it that if daddy's friends call the house, apparently it's going to tear everything down and ruin it all?
Why does mommy know but pretend she doesn't? Explain that. What does that mean?
Is it so she can keep drinking the brown liquid that daddy pays for? Interesting.
Why does mom put the brown liquid in her purse when we're at the grocery store and not into the cart? Mom's purse, I guess, doesn't cost money?
Things that go in the cart cost money. Things that go into mommy's purse are free. But when I take a candy bar and put it in my pocket, now I have to walk back in the store with the wrapper with chocolate all over my face and apologize to the manager. How's that fair?
Mommy never has to apologize. And she's enjoying her brown liquid in the car, driving me back to our apartment.
And why is the apartment so dark?
How does the water occasionally only be cold? Why is the water only cold sometimes?
Is it to make my penis smaller? It's already small. I'm 8. And why does Joe Rogan want me to do cold showers? Does he want me to go back to that place I've tried to forget about? Does he want me to think I'm still a scared kid?
Joe Rogan wants me to be a baby.
Joe Rogan wants me to ask mommy why there's all the brown liquid all over the floor from her tummy. And why is mommy using a razor blade but not shaving? There's no hair on your wrist, Mom.
Why did mom go to the hospital for 3 weeks and then say she has a tattoo appointment and then get a tattoo on her wrist? Explain that.
Most people that go to the hospital don't get tattoos right after. What's that about?
Did she actually go to jail?
And why is
where I got my tattoos?
And why is the tattoo artist still calling mommy even after the tattoo session?
Are they trying to schedule more tattoos?
But she doesn't have any more tattoos. And yet, she keeps going to see him when all he does is do tattoos.
Why do mommy and daddy have so many friends of the opposite gender?
Why doesn't daddy hang out with other daddies? Why does he only hang out with other mommies? Does he want to learn more about mommies? I think he's learned enough. And these are the questions that,
Daddy knows so much about other women.
But he doesn't know a lot about mommy. Because he always asks her, why do you keep doing this? He
asks her stuff like, are we not enough for you? But is he asking her or himself?
Is every question my parents ask each other really a question for themselves that they can't bear to answer?
Both of my parents feel like victims, but both are the perpetrators.
How can two people be victims? Is it that they both hurt each other in different ways all the time?
Who started it? Was it daddy or was it mommy? Or was it always going to be like this? And there was no original start.
And is that why I can't have a single normal relationship?
Or a Sprite at McDonald's?
Why do I love
Why are we not at McDonald's? We just passed McDonald's.
And my most important question, we just passed McDonald's. What the hell? We're not going to go home. We all know there's not enough food there.
You say we have McDonald's at home that you can make, but there's nothing for you to make there.
There's not even soup. We all know McDonald's is where the food is, and home is where the violence is.
Home is where the cold water and no light and the TV of it occasionally turning off is.
Does mommy think punching is food? Because it's not. And I'm not full yet. I'm just bruised.
She might have to keep punching.
So instead of going to McDonald's and eating a burger, I go home, get yelled at by mommy, and then get hugged too hard by daddy after mommy goes to sleep. How's that dinner? I haven't eaten a thing.
Why does dad need to sleep in my bed when he has his own bed?
Him and mommy have such a big bed, but they don't seem to use it. Daddy's in my bed, and mommy's on the floor because she couldn't make it to bed. And whose fault is that?
Why does daddy say he has to sleep in a different room because his back hurts?
And why do I get a girlfriend and then all of a sudden start treating her the way dad treated mommy? I like my girlfriend, but why do I treat her like mommy?
Probably because that's the only mommy I've ever known.
Is it because it's the only lesson I've ever been given on how to treat mommies? Interesting.
Anyway, science is cool.
So that's an example of science.
Yes.
That's an example of...
We acted out the scientific method. And if you don't like that, then turn on to a fucking podcast for fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Why didn't you watch the Dumb Guy podcast or something?
Yeah.
Where they're like, what we need is moderate president. What we need, oh my God, we're all so divided. What we need to do is meet in the middle.
We don't need a moderate president. We need mommy to stop drinking the brown stuff and daddy to stop hugging too hard.
Yeah.
I do want
dumbasses.
I do want the political I want the political pundit who's just like very like he just has like Freudian issue, you know what I mean? He just has like obvious psychological issues where he's like, well, I don't like Spencer Pratt because he's not going to protect me the same way daddy couldn't, the same way mommy couldn't.
The way Donald Trump is running America is kind of like how my grandpapa, he kicked out my uncle because my uncle was hugging guys.
But then we found out that grandpa also hugged guys. And he only kicked out uncle because he hated how much he also hugged guys. And he wanted more guys for himself to hug.
So think about how uncle is homeless now because he was kicked out by grandpapa Because he hugged guys.
I was excited for Trump the same way I was excited for Daddy when he said, we don't have to worry about money anymore. But then 3 months later, we did have to worry about money.
When Dad said we don't have to worry about money anymore, and he shot Mommy and then shot himself.
That didn't make any money.
I had no money after that.
I had no money.
And I had to go live with another family. And they were even worse than Mommy and Daddy.
They called themselves Mommy and Daddy, but they didn't act like it.
They act like girlfriend.
They acted like girlfriend. Every night,
the way Trump is acting is kind of like when you would go to another family's house and the mom would treat you like she's your girlfriend.
Which is not what I wanted.
Yes. That's not what we signed up for as Americans.
No. This isn't what I voted for. Joe
I voted for to go to a nice family that would take care of me like Mommy and Daddy couldn't.
Mm-hmm. And Joe Biden was like Daddy's brother who you don't get to see a lot, but seems normal in a way that kind of scares you. So then you get to live with him for 3 months and you go, this isn't that bad. But then Daddy comes back and says, I'm better than ever. And then you go back and it's worse than ever.
Yeah. You know when Daddy's put into the he's forced to go to a different house where he lives with other guys because he did something that nobody will tell me.
Why won't anybody tell me what's going on? Why do I think all of my family members are going to rehab for weed? I keep thinking everybody's so addicted to weed they had to go to rehab.
I want to try weed. And apparently, it's very good.
Apparently, you need spoons for it. I didn't know you needed to ruin all the spoons in the house just to smoke weed.
Damn. That is crazy that your parents got all these free spoons for you to use for, other stuff.
Yeah. They had all these spoons. They had all the stuff that anybody in my family needed to do a type of weed I'd never heard of that I guess you need some sort of glass bulb that doesn't look like any other pipe I've ever used to smoke weed.
Glass bulb. Yeah. Isn't it crazy when you see a crack pipe? Like one of those old school cylinder crack pipes on the ground? I saw that in New York, like on the ground in I think it was Alphabet City. I remember thinking, this is just like old school.
I was in a smoke shop and they had all the bulb pipes.
For the meth?
Yeah, and some with like skulls on them. The bulbs were skulls.
Yeah.
And I in my head I was like, oh, I want to take a picture of those. And then I was like, I can't do that.
Sam Harder bought me a meth pipe for my birthday. And I remember the guy's expression changed immediately when Sam Harder bought it.
Oh, like you were in the store together?
Yeah, we were in the smoke shop.
Yeah, I mean, well, especially because Sam just looks like a movie stoner.
Yes.
So then the guy's like, wait, no.
Yeah.
Not you.
But he's also got those eyes.
Maybe he was also mad where he was like, you guys are disrespecting these.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to use them.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of homeless guys that hung out in that parking lot. So he's probably like, what if a guy that really needs the bulb comes?
Mm-hmm.
That guy needs to pace around the parking lot.
Yeah.
How is that guy going to get his runs in if he doesn't have the bulb pipe?
This poor guy lost his bulb pipe. He used to be going all around this parking lot. And look, now he's just sitting there screaming like he's going to die.
Yeah. Is it not? I guess it's not widely known the bulb is for meth.
No, yeah, I don't really know exactly what everything's used for. I mean, I know that people would put crack in a cylinder and then take like a little bit of metal or copper as a filter and light it from the bottom kind of, and then that's how you'd smoke crack. But in my mind, you could put crack rocks in a bulb pipe and then base it, right?
Well,
melt and then
what I've always heard is that the bulb pipes are worse for crack because you lose it, like you lose crack. Like it. I don't know the chemical reasons for this. I've had like 4 or 5 people explain to me because I'll always ask because I know that there's a chemical reason, and the chemistry gets explained to me, and then I'm like, and then I don't retain it.
Well, you don't need to know it, really.
All I know is
Yeah.
you can't, if you smoke crack out of the bulb, then it's not as good, and that's why people don't really do it.
And that's also science.
Yeah.
And here's what I hate about people's discrimination of drug users is like they're literally doing science on the street, no laboratory, no funding, no safety measures.
It is so crazy when you hear about like what drug addicts will do with like drugs in order to. Somebody was telling me about guys like burning off. There's like foil on some sort of like some sort of pill so that it wouldn't get you as high, but they would like they would cook it in the microwave.
Yeah. Well, that's also why people crush up pills and snort them.
Yeah.
Because it breaks the blood-brain barrier faster.
Yeah. Have you ever crushed up a pill and snorted it?
Adderall.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
I've just done that when I was still doing coke with a friend and we ran out of coke.
Oh.
So then we did Adderall.
I've never done Adderall. I've never done it. I just don't have any interest.
It's not good.
I feel like all I've heard about Adderall is it ruins everything you want to do, which is like be a person around people.
Yeah, I've never really done it in much of a social setting. More just me and another person during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Who were kind of, for a short time, kind of drug addict.
Yes.
Like, not really, but a lot of my friends were into Adderall in high school. I was never really interested because I had a rule for a while that I wouldn't do pills and I wouldn't do inhalants. And then obviously I also wouldn't do like a heroin or crack.
Yeah.
And I eventually broke the rules with pills and inhalants because I didn't know how fun Whippets is.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a while.
Whippets, like, I'm trying to. The best feelings of my life have been, or I think some of them have been on Whippets. Others on pills.
But now Whippets kind of scare me because I don't get fucked up too much, and Whippets get you so fucked up so immediately.
Yeah.
And I've kind of gotten used to being relatively stable.
Yeah.
So you do have to be ready to be completely unstable or else it's not fun.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because it's the same exact feeling, but I've done Whippets a couple times and been like, oh, I just want to be sober again. I don't really like this. I was thinking yesterday because I was smoking weed again for like the last month and my sleep got really bad and then I ran out of weed and was like, okay, I'm not going to buy anymore. And now I'm going to sleep like 4 hours earlier.
Yeah.
And like being more productive and on time. And it's so funny because this sounds very like fake Instagram deep or whatever.
Yeah.
And it sounds gay, but whatever. If the natural way of feeling was high on weed and then you could take a drug to make you feel sober, I would be addicted to the sober drug.
Oh, yeah.
I would be like, I simply just don't appreciate being sober because it's the regular way of feeling, but it is by far the best way to feel.
Have you ever, like, pills other than Adderall, have you ever, like, consistently taken them?
Never
Or
consistent. I never consistently. I told you about the couple days I took pressed Xanax from my roommate.
Yeah.
And then I blacked out one night. But I don't know. I've just never really tried or been in a position to have like a plug to consistently get pills. And
when you grow up in the South, they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Like there were groups, like there was a girl I remember, I felt so bad for her. We was in a math class and she had, I guess, like drank a whole bottle of vodka and then taken Molly at school. And so she was like face down on her desk and then just started puking everywhere on her desk.
Yeah.
And we all had to leave the class and then she got taken out in a stretcher and was like, ah!
It was so crazy whenever the ambulance would come.
Yeah.
That was always so fun. An ambulance day?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody OD'd in the bathroom. We gotta get the ambulance over here.
I remember there was a guy filming her in class, and I was like, stop filming her. Just let her make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, it made me so mad, because I was like, if you don't film her, then just us know about this, and we'll tell people. But, like, she could get away from this.
Yeah.
But if you film it...
She's 15.
She's 15!
Yeah.
Stop! It's like
I get that you're also 15, but, like...
Yeah. You know what really made me sad is when I was like, stop filming her, just let her make a mistake. Because a guy turned back to me, he's like, what's your fucking problem? And I was like, you're the one with the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going to do with this video? Watch it? You're going to post it online and then you're going to be like, whoa, look at this really sad situation.
I mean, seriously, like anybody you show that to is going to be like, Jesus Christ. I mean, he was one of those guys that I think he's literally probably streaming right now for work. Like he's definitely on the street going up to girls being like, what's your body count? Like for sure he's that guy. So
What is the right answer to that? It's so what a bizarre piece of content. I very rarely have seen. I've only really heard people talk. There's a lot of like online content I only really hear people talk about. The body count thing I've maybe seen once or twice.
Everybody's just so afraid of each other now. You really can't be a human.
Yeah.
Like doing anything the way a normal human would, it's like we have a weird... I mean, it's been said that people are puritanical, but it's usually about like woke people, but I don't think that's really the truth. I think like very politically incorrect people who like to get drunk and party are very puritanical.
Yes.
Because all the content from there is like the new one is like interviewing a guy and being like, do you think people will think you look gay? And then they take a picture and they show it to other people and they're like, yeah, he's gay. I was thinking about how, you know how it's kind of popular now, at least for a lot of white people, to kind of dress like kind of older Americana, like Ralph Lauren, kind of like white shirt, blue jean, like very simple. I think that became a thing because it is a way to have a personal style that is non-objectionable.
Yeah.
And it's really acceptable. I think that's like why, I think the reason why a lot of retro stuff is more popular is because people are so afraid of being videotaped and made fun of that they go to things that have already been accepted. And also, a lot of the retro stuff is like mostly stuff that wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
Like there are, of course, people in Gen Z that dress crazy, but a lot of people are just kind of dressing like a white kid in the 70s. You know? Like people don't want to look too out of the ordinary because you're being filmed. I mean, somebody said, you know, recently is like, kids don't dance anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just because you could be filmed.
Yeah.
And I oftentimes think about, like, it does seem fun in the 70s that you could just go out and dance.
Yeah.
And if you looked silly, most people were drunk and focused on fucking the person they're dancing with. So they look over and go, oh, he's dancing like a nerd. And then they don't care anymore. Yeah. And that's it. But now it's like, you can just...
Then you got like a bunch of internet comments being like, this guy should die.
Exactly. Now you can become a meme for being a human being. And it's like... Also, with the internet moves so fast, and it's like the minute people say something about you, it's over. So it's like people just can't have a free mind.
You know, like when you get into a comment section and everybody's negative and you haven't even watched the video and you're like, oh, this must be bad.
Exactly. Because, you don't want to be in the outskirts of it.
Yeah.
And then it's also just like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, there's also like a lot of like, I think like queer expression has gotten weird with the internet of people like being like masculinity's like kicked up a lot, or the idea of it. So like there's a lot of like young men who are like very like down low and like ashamed of their queerness and stuff. And I think it's just because like if anybody knows you're gay, it's like the worst thing in the world to so many people, and the internet moves so fast. Like I think
that book I have talks about that, about how all these like gay prostitutes are so obsessed with their masculinity. And part of it is, one, they don't want to be seen as gay. They want to be seen as like their trade, right?
Yeah.
And two, it's like the Johns want you to, they want to feel like they're fucking a straight guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of, there's a lot of scenes in that book where a guy's like, I ain't no fucking homo.
Yeah.
I just make money.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really sad thing, because it's like people just like the internet infects your brain to, even when you're not on it, you're still living by its rules. Where like there's tons of young men out there who like naturally have a gay thought for a second, and it doesn't mean they're gay, it doesn't mean anything, but then they like grow the sense of self-hate, and then they're like putting on ski masks and sucking dick on like a girl's OnlyFans or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it just gets weird where if they just didn't hate themselves and allowed themselves a space to breathe, then I don't know, maybe they hook up with a guy and then maybe never do it again, or do it again, who cares? But it's like, there's such a meaning ascribed to everything, and identification ascribed to everything. It's like you have to be something now because you have to market yourself somewhere on social media. But nobody's anything, and like the words don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's also the tough thing is like, I don't know, even with politics, it's like tough to, like, I don't know if I'm exactly a leftist, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I like different political ideas, like, you know, the anarchy stuff I've been mentioning, and that's not exactly leftism, you know?
Yeah.
But then it's like, if you don't say you're a leftist, people are like, well, what are you, an authoritarian, you know? And it's like,
I'm a leftist as far as there's a lot of people I want dead.
And that's one part of it.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people that you want to live way more.
Yes.
That's why you want those people dead.
Well, you want certain people dead so other people that you see value in won't die.
Won't die, yeah. Unfortunately, you have to die.
I was thinking about somebody I knew that died, and they deserved to die, right? They were a piece of shit, but they didn't deserve to live the way that they had to. They felt like they had to.
What does that mean?
It's like people were kids, everybody was like a kid at a certain point.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of kids weren't like, I'm going to die in a motel bed of a heroin overdose, like bitten up by bed bugs.
A lot of those people are still using kid logic.
Yeah.
They're just scared and they want to feel better. And they want to feel power, so they end up sometimes being violent, using drugs that make them do bad things.
Yeah. Everybody's
just sort of a large child.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to get too much into the whole situation of this, but it's, I think it's...
Dox them.
I mean, they're dead. And I don't actually know their name. At least not now. But yeah, they died in a fucking motel, and they were a bad person. You know, they were a bad person, but they were also 19.
Well, that's also the problem now about a lot of internet stuff is like deciding what's a bad person. It just makes so much less sense. The funniest thing I saw on Threads has this big problem where a lot of, I guess because people kind of get automatically added to it and don't really understand what they're on. A lot of old people end up on Threads and don't really know what's happening. So there's this old man that was alone in, I think, Missouri, and he keeps posting his phone number and replying to like OnlyFans girls and like AI girls.
Yeah.
He keeps being like, you're beautiful, here's my phone number. And I don't know, I guess some of these AI girls are like teenagers or something. Like, I don't know. He's just an old man. He doesn't know what's going on. And then everybody's like, I reported you to the police department. And they're like, you're a piece of shit. And it's like, to look at this man and not think that although he may be now perpetuating bad stuff, is not a victim of everything that's ever happened to him.
He's also old.
It's like, he
doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't know what's going on. Where is his agency in this situation? Why people give people they want to hate so much credit and so much agency of like, oh, you're like Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, this man, he has no contact with his family. He's alone. Nobody's helping him. He's eating like rotten food. And
he lives in his mother that's been dead for fucking 50 years' house.
And she's in the bedroom.
She's dead still.
And she's bones in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he sleeps next to her every night.
And he cuddles and he cries.
And you're acting like
But he doesn't know why he's crying.
He doesn't know why he does anything. And people are like, you piece of shit. And you're like, dude, we're not going to get anywhere if this is your fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Because a guy that is going on social media and responding to any woman who's trying to bait sad men for engagement, anybody responding to that is somebody that has no support system.
Yeah.
It's somebody that has no outlet, has no social...
Yeah, I mean, I do it all the time. I got no support system. I'm just like constantly... I'm posting my phone number, and I have a filter online where I look like an old man.
Yeah, you post your phone number every day with the filter.
Yeah,
and then
so people will think I'm an old man.
And it's
I
like,
know what I'm doing.
It's just funny to call a guy evil who it's like literally is just getting his credit card information stolen 5 times a day. Like he's just constantly giving out any government number assigned to him to like any woman named Leanne.
He's like, here's my phone number, my social security number.
Can we be together now?
I have nothing now because you have it.
Yeah.
You own me.
Yeah. They're literally like, I helped you out because you needed groceries, and it's like, this is a man in Thailand.
Yeah.
But you don't know because people also don't realize it's like a lot of these old men, it's like at one point the internet was like connected to the telephone.
Yeah.
They can't understand what Threads is. They don't understand they're doing something bad. They think they're talking to people privately.
Yeah.
They think Threads is all private somehow, but they're also seeing public posts. They can't delineate anything. They think all AI is real.
They're still on Facebook.
They think
if you're still on Facebook, you're not. It's not going good.
No, I saw an old man tweet on Threads, and he just said, "This is my Facebook. This is Facebook." And then people comment and they're like, where'd you come from?
He just sees any post and he's like, happy birthday. He just assumes every single one. He sees like a 21-year-old woman being like, "Man, I hate men," and he's like, "Happy birthday!
Hope you have a good one. You're so beautiful."
You remind me of my daughter.
Yeah, literally. They just see like, yeah. Then they see some girl who like is. It's also the problem is there's like anybody of any age can be on Threads. So like a 13-year-old girl posts a photo and then an 18-year-old man with dementia is like, that's a woman. And then he says happy birthday and then people are like, you're a pedophile. And you're like, okay, I mean, it's different than
he's
like...
drooling in his profile picture.
Like the profile picture is crazy. I don't even know how they get profile pictures because it's always half their face and they're looking over the phone like they didn't even mean to take it.
It's like too bright.
It's always, yeah.
There's like a flat, like the light is reflecting really weird.
Well, because the camera's dirty.
Yeah.
The camera's really dirty, but somehow they're
wearing glasses that like reflect, so you can almost not see their face.
Yeah, they look like they have like God eyes, like reflecting into... And then somehow
the glasses are also dirty.
They just find a way to accidentally take a photo and then make it their profile picture. And it's like, I don't even know how you did that, first off. And then, yeah, they accidentally take a picture, they make it their profile picture, and then they just immediately tell everybody where they live. Just as quick as they can. They're like, I'm off Old Fork Road, 128, come see me. And then people report them to the police, and it's like, what do you think the police are going to do?
I'm at 123 Dance Street.
We do need a social service for old people. I mean, we kind of do, but we need like a social service for like old people on social media.
We need like a nurse to come in and post for them.
Yeah, we just need a nurse to be like, Henry's doing
okay. An old Jamaican woman to come in and post.
Well, there's some people on Threads who are like, I don't trust Maria. So sometimes they have a help system, but then the help system like goes home for the night or something, and they're just like, who is this lady in my house?
The lady in my house takes my medicine.
It is funny because we have so many people who like need help and a lot of times, like if a person gets old and their family doesn't help them out or they like go crazy or something, there's just a lot of people who get forgotten in the system.
Yeah.
But now with social media, you can find these people.
Yeah.
Because they're posting and they're giving their number away.
They're like, why do they take medicine?
Yeah.
They're supposed to give medicine. Why are they taking medicine?
Why do they keep taking all my pills into the bathroom and then watching TV and ignoring me? But it's like there should be a government system that's like combing Threads for old men and being like, we need to do a wellness check on this guy.
Yeah.
He keeps giving out his credit card on Threads. Like somebody needs to go
call his son.
Guy. Yeah.
Get his son to fly from Cincinnati to North Carolina and check on this guy.
Because there are so many people in the comments who are like, hey man, like you really need help. But it's like he's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because they just respond and they're like, potato, because they think they're ordering. They think I don't know, they think Threads.
They're like asking people like, why did mom not stop at McDonald's?
Yeah. They think Threads is like a bunch of people that know them and also where they can get food and pussy. They're like, have you seen Linda? Linda, where are you? Also, mom never got McDonald's. Here's my phone number.
Could you get me McDonald's? Here's my address.
It's a lot of guys just trying to fix their childhood. They're just constantly giving out their phone number, being like, here's my phone number, give me a call, I want McDonald's. Also, you're very pretty.
I always think about this of going to visit my grandpa. We put my grandpa in a home after he got like I don't know if I ever told the story of the trap house on the pod. Probably I haven't because I don't really talk about that stuff. But my grandpa was he's in a trap house. He got it got shut down. We put him in a nursing home, and then he got kicked out because he tried to fist fight another old person. But I remember going there, and I always would check out the like flyers, not flyer, those little sleeves, the brochures.
Okay, yeah.
And the funeral home brochures were always missing. There was never any.
They're getting used a lot.
Yeah, they get used so much. It's like depressing. Those places were so depressing.
Have you ever like lived near a funeral home or no, like an old folks home where like you kind of have to drive by it a decent amount?
No.
If you do, you notice like about every 4 days an ambulance is outside.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, yeah, they're really dark places because it's just people that are only living there for a couple of years before they die.
We know a decent amount of people that work at old folks' homes. Eric Rocha, there's another one. Or he used to. Somebody else I know. Oh, Jackson Banks, I think, used to work in an old folks' home.
Really?
I believe so. Somebody told me that.
Damn.
That's a crazy guy. That must be where he gets his clothes from.
Yeah.
Just those old women there.
Just for context, he's our friend who's jokingly very sexual on stage and literally
he wears very flamboyant
he dresses
outfits.
like Mick Jagger.
Yes.
Or more like Keith Richards, actually.
Yeah.
More flowy like Keith Richards. But imagining that guy being like, ooh, Dolores, how are you today?
I guess you have to be that, I guess it's blowing off steam a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, people who work in old folks' homes are either like our friends who need a good job during the day or like a lady who just wants to punch an old guy in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the kind of sadism that happens in those places is crazy.
It's really grim, and a lot of people we know will end up in getting the shit kicked out of them. Isn't that funny to know about those old elder abuse, that's going to happen to people we know? Like, they're not going to know where they are.
Well, that's why I always think it's funny when people are like, well, I don't want to have kids because I want to be free in my life, or I don't want to bring people into this world. And you go, you only have kids so you don't get beat up.
Yeah, you're going to get beat up.
You raise kids, you try and treat them right in the hope that they will either let you live with them or put you in a respectable care facility.
That's funny. Isn't it funny that, like, age gap relationships became a big moral problem, but then also if you're a woman, you have a kid at 35, it's a geriatric pregnancy, and the kid might end up a little bit fucked up? Like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah. Well, how does that relate to age gaps?
Well, I was just thinking about, like, you're a 35-year-old man, and you want to have a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess the moral thing is to do with a older woman.
Yeah.
But then that kid might get a little bit fucked up.
Then you could have a little bit of a fucked up kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think with having
biology
kids,
doesn't care about that.
No.
Biology really doesn't care about whether or not age gaps are right, which age gap just became a thing because women were single. All the guys that were age appropriate were dating younger women because younger women will be dating guys that are age inappropriate.
Nobody's ever dating the right person.
No, ever.
Nobody is ever like, I'm 22, you're 22.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's so funny when you date an older woman, they really want to be in a relationship. But when you date a woman your age, she's so terrified of being in a relationship. It's like the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, everybody's just sort of mistiming everything.
Yeah.
It's not good. And then, yeah,
It's kind of interesting that this, like, fear we have is, like, objectively morally wrong. It's, like, so self-centered, all this fear. Fear in general, fear and, like, anxiety and all that shit, like, it's been, like, oh, I have a problem, I'm anxious. And it's like, well, you're a bad person. You're not doing anything. You're a loser. Like,
yeah.
You suck. Can't we just admit these people suck and not that they're pitiful?
Yeah. I mean, I saw something funny last night that it's like, you got your girlfriend off Hinge and your job on Indeed and you wonder why your life sucks. And that is a lot of people. And I think, because it's like the scam that this country is just unraveling.
Yeah.
Because, you used to, if you played the game of the American system, you would maybe get stuff. You used to get a retirement, you used to get a house, you used to get a job that wasn't too bad, and you go to church, you'd have community. And now it's like the job doesn't pay you enough, you're not going to be able to retire, you don't get a house. How the fuck would you believe in God in today's system?
And then you go out in public and you're nervous.
Yeah. And then you're like, God, maybe I'm a piece of shit. And
it's like, well, I think so. I'm a service worker. Of course I think you're a loser.
But also, it's like
I would never think somebody was a loser if they weren't nervous. That's the first tell of a loser to me, is if they're, like, nervous to talk to me.
But also, it's just like, we live in a society that is designed to make you hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because none of the things that you used to get, you get anymore. But they still tell you that you get them if you work hard. So you have all these people working hard who are, like, not getting any of the things promised to them and then being like, well, I must be a fucking loser. And it's like, no, you just got lied to.
You got lied to, and now you're 44, and you don't have any family now. All your family's dead.
I mean, that's,
Your family just dies.
I hate a lot of what Gen Z's doing, I guess. Like, I don't love a lot of the content or whatever that is getting put out, especially with streaming, and I think a lot of it can be very pessimistic and shallow. But on the other end of the spectrum, I do think it's fun that, yeah, now we have a whole generation who is like not at all interested in engaging with the scam.
Yeah, that's very true, but then they're engaging in other scams.
Well, yeah, they're making new scams for us all the time.
They're making new scams, and it's mostly just playing off on anxiety and the knowledge that it's like the life we're building, just because the life we're building from being scared is just going to lead us to a death that's incredibly terrifying to think about.
The system adapted pretty well where they're like, ooh, you don't want to have a job. Okay, that's fine. What if you stayed in your house all day? What if you never saw anybody else? But what if you had a lot of thoughts about other people because you were on social media? Now you all hate each other and you have no community. And now we've broken down any kind of system that ever could have started a collective movement. Perfect.
Isn't it interesting? People are scared, but they haven't had the fear of God put into them. They don't have like a... they're not the type of scared where you do stuff.
Yeah, well, because people forget they're going to die.
Yeah.
People aren't thinking about that they're going to die enough. They just think about like, oh, fuck, I'm a chud. And it's dude, you're not a chud. You're a human being who's dying every day.
It is crazy because it's like if you thought about death as much as you should, you would not be so nervous.
No, you need to think about death all the time.
You need to remember that you'll die, your parents will die, everybody you've ever loved will die. And that's not like a bad thing. That's not bad that happens.
No, it's what makes everything beautiful. It's the only reason life matters.
Yeah.
The only reason life matters is that there is no God and you will die.
And you could die any day.
That's all the meaning in the world.
You could die. You could die in a car wreck on your way to work.
You could die in a way that really sucks.
And then you're just like you'll just be dying, and it'll just be like, well, I've never loved anybody.
You could die.
I've never truly like been there with anybody, and then you're just dead. You're just a dead motherfucker.
You're just like, oh man, I really hope my videos do better. And then a big statue of a hot dog falls off a roof, and you're dead.
Yeah, there's a guy playing with a flamethrower on the street, and you get hit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like smoking a cigarette, then the smoke ignites and goes into your lungs, and you're made of fire for 2 seconds before you die.
Yeah, but you have to think about what you did, you know?
Thinking about how you're going to die will really stop you from getting too down on yourself. Because like the other day I was mad where I was like, God damn it, I fucking still have this job. I'm not doing enough. But then I was like, well, you've been doing this thing recently. You just got to do it better. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. You can just do it better. And, you know, and then you get yourself out of it. But you only do that if you're like, I'm going to die. So I can't really spend the whole time just thinking I'm a loser.
Yeah.
You have to be like, no, you're not a loser. It's just not what you want. You have too high of expectations, but also you've done a good job with this thing. And if you did it more than an hour a week, maybe did it 4 hours a week, it would be way better. And you can't just, keep being pissed about stuff.
You know what sucks is you do have to think of yourself as a winner. You do have to think about how you're badass. But if you spent most of your life thinking you're a fucking loser, then you probably are. So then that's hard to get out of.
Yeah, I mean, people don't want to realize how much power they have. You manifest yourself every single day. So, yeah, and it for some reason kind of feels awesome to be like, well, I'm just a fucking loser. But it feels awesome because then you have no choice but to be that.
But then if you think you're awesome, then other people are pissed off about it. And then that starts to make you feel bad. But then you're like, well, I am. I mean, I'm pretty sick.
Less than awesome. It's like you just have to believe you have efficacy. You have to believe that you can do things that will have a positive effect on yourself and the world around you. And if you feel that you don't have efficacy, then there's no reason to invest in yourself.
Yeah. I guess that's that's true.
Like I was pissed off about my whole career, and then I was like, well, I've been making these videos and I gained like 2,000 followers in like a couple weeks, and a lot of people are resonating with what I'm saying. And that doesn't mean that I'm very smart, but it does mean that I can say stuff and people can relate to it.
Yeah.
And that I can have value in that way. But it's not everything I want. I still have to have a job, but it's also like you've just shown yourself you have potential. And I'm only spending an hour or so a week on these videos. So if I spent more, then we don't even know what could happen.
Yeah.
But there is just a fine balance. I always like the word efficacy And that's just mainly a word from therapy, where it's not even that you have to think you're fucking awesome, but just that you do believe that when you throw a rock in the water, it makes waves. And most
a Chinese rock.
A Chinese rock.
When you throw a Chinese man in the water, you can skip.
And if you freak out, go to a lake and skip Chinese people across the water. Get a bag of Chinese people and skip it across the water, and just see how far that can go with what you've believed.
And this is the ending of the podcast, and this is a good one because we ended on a callback.
We ended on a callback, and it's a positive note. Listen,
hey,
you're not a chud, you're not a Chad, you're just a 27-year-old guy named Brian who's good at 3 things but doesn't try hard enough at them, and if he tried a little harder, he could maybe have a teacher's salary off of something he loves to do. And if that's not a gift, then what more do you want from life?
Yeah. So just keep in mind you're worthwhile. Love everybody, all that stuff. The relationships you have with other people, those are the most important things in the world.
That's all you have.
And you'll die.
So
if you have relationships with people that are built on like some sort of, you can have selfish relationships with people that are built on essentially nothing. If that's most of your relationships, you're a loser. You should fix that.
You should hang out with people that you actually like and are interesting
and
to
not
you.
Just people that were around or people that were around and that you can be like, aren't we so cool together? But none of you secretly think you're cool. You all think you're fucking losers because you are.
Here's some Dagnabbit homework for the week. Look at your friend group and ask, are these just the people who were around, and would we still hang out if I quit drinking?
Yes. Yeah.
And after you figure that out...
Are they people you do fucking pills with?
Yeah.
Are they just pill people with you?
Are they just pill people? And,
if you're friends with anybody you went to high school with, you're a loser, so stop that. Anyway, that's not true. But...
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're up to. It depends.
Anyway, so stay funny.
Stay funny. And watch On Cinema in the meantime.
Yeah.
Once you've done your work for the day, relax for a little and watch On Cinema. It'll make you a better artist and thinker.
Yes.
And stay funny, please.
Stay funny.
Dear God, stay funny.
I'm the dirtiest man in the street. The trash is scared of me. The bums, they tell me to take a shower.